Life Stadium, and guys, what a game, what a turn of events there at the end. My goodness.
You thought the Islanders were onto something. Great game, going to take a big win. Arch rival, here we go, and it just got away from them. Hicks, we've seen this before, and unfortunately the Islanders, it happened again. Giving up a lead late, penalty kill not getting it done. Rangers the big win.
Too many times, and I've said this too many times this year, the amount of devastating losses, and you figure this has to be the last one if you're going to make the playoffs. And look, I know you come out with a point. It feels like a loss in a game that you had everything. The start with the fight, the goals, once again, the third period taking penalties with the power play is poor, or sorry, the penalty kill is poor as they have it. That's going to do you in every single time, and they couldn't find a way. Credit to the Rangers, who never went away the entire night.
Yeah, you mentioned these special teams. They played a big role in this outdoor game, especially down the stretch.
They really did, and they always will. That's what you need to improve on if you're the New York Islanders. But in the third period, MJ, we talked about it. It's not just the fact that you've got a bad penalty kill, and you're not going to trust it late in games. Can you stay out of the box? And the three minor penalties in the third period, you had the game in control, out shooting them 40-20 almost at that point. And then you saw New York, the Rangers, just the shot clock totally change, and they just poured it on. And of course, they're going to pull their goalie. I thought that was a really smart move by Laviolette as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, penalty kill's been a big problem, and the Rangers are relatively quiet out of the game, but you give their best players time and space in the power play, they'll make plays. That's why they're out there for, and you get one, and then Laviolette pulling the goaltender. Remember the Adam Fox keep-in? Would have gone down the ice, 5-on-3, he knocks it out of the air. They don't get the puck out of the zone. All of a sudden, 20 seconds later, Kreider tip-in 5-4, and the crowd was roaring at that point. Rangers using the power play, and a penalty kill. Penalty kill is a coachable thing, and that will drive the coaches crazy, is that they have something that they should be able to get better at, improve on, and it's costing them games, costing them points, the Islanders.
Sometimes in these big events, these biggest stages, it's the unsung heroes. Not today. The Rangers, the big boys, especially on the power play, they were feasting.
Not surprising. They have some pretty good players. Their top six guys can get going. And 5-on-5, Panarin and Trocheck were doing their thing as they always do, but then you give them the power play, and here comes Kreider, here comes Zibanejad. They have been power play specialists in the last couple of years, but you love to see it if the Rangers, we win the game, we score a bunch of goals. All of our top guys are involved in virtually every bit of offense we create. That's how you want it to happen when your big guys come through.
Yeah, and the funny thing tonight, heading into the game, I was excited to see Shesterkin versus Sorokin. They each give up a bunch, but outside of that, you mentioned the Rangers guys stepping up for the Islanders. Before things got away from them, we were talking about Anders Lee, Bo Horvat, Matt Barzal, your top line. They each get one. Brock Nelson, who's pretty much a first-line hockey player, he gets one as well. So things are going good. You need your top guys to perform, and it came down to pretty much firepower on firepower until the last one scored.
You mentioned the goaltenders, Igor Shesterkin. Is this game right here a microcosm of his season? Slow start and then picked it up down the stretch, locked it down?
That could be it. And look, we thought he was getting pulled after the third one.
I would have pulled him for sure.
You were going for it.
If it wasn't in this environment where it's 80,000 people, such a special game, I think he would have got pulled if it was in a regular rink. They keep him in. He ends up being okay and gets the win in the end. He's on a roll. The Rangers are on a roll. But Sorokin, again, set such a high bar. He was not his fault, but you would have loved, I think, we get 5, we should win the game.
Yeah, no, you can, and you have those moments, right, where you're expecting the big one, and look, the first one, not too pretty, and other than that, you get some goal mouth plays, you get some tips. Those are tough for any goaltender, and I think both of them experienced that tonight. You can't stop the pucks when you're getting tipped from about 10 feet out. It's totally changing direction, but who's going to make that last big save? And for the New York Islanders, it wasn't them tonight.
We talked to the commissioner in the pregame show. This is the first time the NHL has ever had back-to-back outdoor games in the same venue. This one less than 24 hours. How about the games? I mean, how often do games live up to the expectations? These did and maybe exceeded it.
Yeah, I mean, look at the size of the stadium. And yet somehow the games were appropriate to be played here.
50,000 fans.
And there was energy, physicality. We got a fight tonight. Both games went down to the wire, back and forth lead changes, lots of goals. They weren't boring. They felt like playoff intensity hockey in the middle of February, in the middle of a football stadium. Fantastic stuff. Kudos to all 4 teams and the fans who came out in kind of cold weather.
You had to check your watch to see if it was February?
Well, you know what? Yeah, literally.
All right, I like it.
Could be.
It did get sneaky cold. You're right, but credit to the league. These games continue to get better and better, and it used to be, well, who's going to get the first one? Because the lead might be safe, and it's going to be tough to execute if the ice is bad. Clearly, with all the goals scored tonight, that wasn't an issue one bit.
All right, we're always looking ahead to the next thing. You mentioned 150,000. That's 2 days. How about 100,000 next year at the Horseshoe Ohio State Stadium Series? And then the year after that, All-Star announcement, UBS Arena, the home of Thomas Hickey over there
love
on
it.
Long Island. I mean, look, the NHL is always going bigger and better. How about the excitement of the announcements we heard?
I mean, channeling Michigan-Ohio State rivalry, obviously the Red Wings and the Blue Jackets, that'll be great. That's a massive venue. And then your home rink, you're playing host in a couple of years. That'll be exciting. One of the nicest rinks in the league.
Yeah, really, and I think league-wide, if you do the work, you get the arena, and it takes a lot to put that together, you're going to get rewarded. I think that's going to be just a great showcase of UBS, and you got a mix of Long Island and Manhattan, obviously, where everyone's probably going to be staying, but that will be a great mix, and I'm excited for that outdoor game next year. I think as hockey fans, we don't really understand that rivalry between Ohio and Michigan, but if you talk to anyone with football, they understand, and you guys know that's going to be a special arena, and have 100,000 people. It's tough to outdo this, but I think they're going to give it their best shot.
All right, this was a heck of a weekend. A lot of fun here at MetLife Stadium. Let's go back to you guys in studio.